right. Hi, everyone. My name is Tyra Mitchell. I'm a physical therapist and a professor of practice at Tulane University in the kinesiology program. And I'm here to talk with you guys about how to keep everyone in your home active while we have to stay at home. And what I'm going to start with and end with is that there's no one way to stay active. So hopefully, as we kind of talk through these different options, you see that you can be as creative as you like, but the main goal is that everyone is able to participate and that you stay active. So the first thing, there's lots of folks out there who are planners, and given that we are on our stay-at-home orders, maybe you didn't plan for this time. So many of our planners are a little discombobulated right now. But even for our non-planners, I suggest making a plan. Make time where you as a family get together, either within the home, you can go outside in your backyard if you have one. I live right in the city in New Orleans, so we actually have to go find green space. But we look for places where we can practice physical distancing. We want to make sure that we're able to do that. And I also make sure that we take a mask or two or mask for each individual of the family, just in case we're unable to maintain that 6 feet or more from others. I also try to plan out the week. For my family, we try to do something every day. But getting a schedule of at least 3 times within a week, I would recommend for most families, where you guys do something all together. And I'll talk about a little bit later. There's some online apps that are free, some YouTube channels that are great resources that are totally free to give you some guidance through different types of exercises if you've never done exercise or physical activity at home. And before we get into all of that fun stuff, I want to talk about exercise equipment. So now that we're home, many people are thinking maybe they need to purchase weights or new exercise equipment. I've seen friends and acquaintances celebrate the fact that they've bought these new fancy home bicycles and things like that. I don't think it's necessary unless it's something you already had as a plan or goal. You can get a really good workout, a really good training routine with the whole family without purchasing lots of equipment. So you can save those pennies and still get a really good functional workout, and it's free. And the best thing to use is your own body weight. So there's some exercises that I recommend that we've done. Probably if you've ever had physical ed in school, you go back to some of those exercises: lunges, squats, wall or stair push-ups. And you can add resistance to these types of exercises by using just household items, full bottles of water. You can use a milk jug and empty it. Well, once it's been emptied, you can add water or sand or something to it to give you customized resistance. You can use bags of rice. And if you have small children who are cooperative, you can also use them as weights and get them involved in some of the activities that you're doing. And there's a blog that Fitbit has that's called "Got 15 Minutes in a Bag of Rice," and I highly recommend Googling that and checking out some of the tips and tricks of getting a home workout without purchasing any additional equipment, just using things around the house. The other thing that I want to make sure everyone understands, like, do something fun and challenging. What you see here is one of our Tulane students who is doing a play off of a plank, where he gets in plank pose and then he actually puts his hand on top of a basketball. And what's really cool about this exercise is that he came up with it to challenge himself, and he has nothing else that he's focusing on. So it's a really good time for everyone to kind of think through what can you do that's fun and safe with, your own strength and body weight, to just challenge yourself and challenge yourself mentally. And then you see here a mom and a child practicing yoga. And a note with little kids, younger kids: let them be creative, let them be imperfect. Don't look for them to do the perfect yoga pose, but look for them to be engaged in the activities that you're doing as a family. and really look for things that you don't need a whole lot of equipment. Some other things to kind of think about: if you have stairs in your home or outside of your home, you can do tricep dips on the stairs. You can do dynamic planks on stairs. You can do stair jumps. And then if you live in the city like we do, we really go out into the street, and especially because there's not a whole lot of street traffic right now, we can do long jumps in the street. And you'll see here, we actually even get our puppy involved in it, because our canines need some extra love and attention right now, to make sure that they're also being active. But you see here, I have a young teenager um, doing long jumps along the street, and the dog actually picked up on it as well. When you're doing cardio activities, look for something that's on a similar intensity level. If you're going to involve all members of the family, you really don't want to take, a 5 mile jog with your 7-year-old. But you guys can do block sprints, where one block you run as fast as you can, and the next block is a gentle jog. And just really try to engage the family. Younger kids and even older, I've gotten my teenagers to also engage in scavenger hunts. Like, we look for, the oddest color house in the neighborhood, or we'll look for the rainbows that people have been putting in their windows. So it keeps people engaged. Again, it takes you away from kind of thinking about the whole stay-at-home order and the fact that things are very different right now, and gets you really engaged as a family, thinking of something else and being active. And so at this time, it might be a great time to try something new. And if it's your first time working out at home, that might in and of itself be something new. But if you've never tried yoga because maybe it takes too long, or you don't want to go to a yoga studio, I highly, highly recommend Yoga with Adrienne. She has a YouTube channel, and she has a series of videos right now out called Yoga for Uncertain Times. And there's 34 videos just in that arena, where she talks you through meditation if you've never done meditation before, relaxation, and lots of stretching and strengthening positions. And so I think it's a great tool. You can watch those videos over and over and over again at home. And again, you can get everyone involved. It's for beginners to the experienced person with yoga. And then if you want to get a cardio activity, or you want to do high intensity interval training cardio, HasFit has a free app, which is amazing when you can get a free app with free workouts. But if you go to their YouTube channel, they actually have a full body workout without equipment, which means that you don't have to invest in any additional equipment. You use what's around your house, and you use your own body weight. And then if you see in the background here, I have a picture of one of our Tulane students dribbling a basketball. So try other sports. This student is actually a soccer player and a punter. And so for him, he does a lot of footwork and a lot of exercise with his lower body, but really doesn't do a whole lot with his upper extremities. So he just decided he was going to start dribbling and walking backwards, which is a really great engagement of mental capacity. So he's focused on learning a new skill, but he's also working on his balance, and he's working on his hand-eye coordination. All are really good things. He made it up himself. So really allow for a lot of creativity in what you guys can do as a family, individually, to really get some activity together. And then I don't want to forget about functional things and productive activities. Those things count as physical activity. Those things count as exercise. So some of the things that you can do could be quite simply going through your home and organizing some of those neglected projects that you've had for months, or in our case, we were working on a century-old house. So we have projects that we can always pick up and do together. And that we've neglected for a while. You can start outdoor projects. I think as much as we're asked to stay in our homes, it's okay to go outside of our home and work on things outside of our home, work on a neighbor's home, as long as we're still practicing that physical distancing. You may want to paint a fence, you may want to clean up your garden or start a new garden. Um, really get some input from the younger members of the family of what types of outdoor projects or activities they want to do. And you guys will find it very rewarding. And again, it gets you up and moving and physically active together. And so, kind of to wrap up everything, ultimately, make whatever it is that you're going to do as a family, make it fun. It's an opportunity to step away from working from home or step away from the stresses of kind of dealing with being being home full time, stepping away from schoolwork for the kids. Allow some creativity. It does not have to be a perfect workout routine. Just has to get you guys moving, and ultimately, if you can get out of the house, I will feel like that's a big accomplishment. Enjoy the time together and take time to try new things. Take the wildest suggestion from family members as to what you can do to stay active. And then let's not forget, while we are on the stay-at-home order and we're being especially cautious, we want to make sure that your hands are being washed frequently, maintain that physical distancing, and keep masks nearby, because you never know when you might run into someone else who's also trying to be physically active out and about. So ultimately, my message is there's no one way to stay active at home. Just do something and make it fun and include everyone. All right. Well, thank you guys. I don't think there are any questions. Thank you for joining. Reach out to us if you have any questions through Facebook or any of the social media. Stay well, stay safe. Bye.